All right, One Piece episode 25 live reaction. Let's do this. If you like the video, make sure you guys are subscribing to this channel and hitting the bell so you don't miss any future One Piece live reactions. They're just like, oh, we're frozen in time.
And the water's perfectly still.
Yeah, well, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, man. It's weird. I mean, obviously, I'm cutting them slack, but it's so weird. All the weird, like, I guess, animation glitches that you see sometimes in these early episodes.
100%. These early ones, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. You're better off fighting than you are cleaning.
Damn right he's serious.
He's definitely serious about it.
Roughnecks.
He has a very stretchy neck. It's not rough at all.
What you thinking, Sanji?
I think he wants more out of life, bro. Man, that's big talk from somebody who got his ass whooped on the Grand Line.
Are we going to talk about this guy on the right?
I don't know what to say.
Okay.
I think he's just truly marching to the beat of his own drum.
Okay.
All right, so this whole thing of like, I'm so badass, I just kill my own subordinates whenever they say something I don't like. It just don't work because you just like you're thinning out your own crew.
We did just witness it, but we won't say anything.
Yeah, I guess we should forget about 20 minutes ago.
Ah, that makes sense. It would make sense because he was levitating in one of the flashbacks and his eyes are just straight up yellow. So I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't think that shot was him literally levitating. I think that was just like they were imposing his silhouette onto in memory. Like it wasn't like actually what he was doing.
Okay. Yeah, you could be right.
You're like, you got a big sword and he can fly. So
oh shit. Flash. Yo, look at that freaking.
Oh, dude, he's got the hat on the duck.
Amazing. Stop, bro.
Yeah, just like nothing about any of that character's face, head makes any sense. Because it's like, did you shave most of the front of your head, but then left enough to like put up into? I don't get it. Oh my god. Oh, Sanji gonna solo all of them? 1v50?
Oh shit.
He's like, I've seen the battlefield. Oh, little Sanji. I think.
Is that Redfoot?
No, I think it's probably like either his dad or maybe somebody, a mentor figure.
Sounded like the same voice actor. That's. It would make sense that young Sanji was part of his crew, though, because of the fact that he has the kicking technique as well.
Oh, yeah.
And that sounded literally like that voice actor, and he said, I want to make a restaurant, which he did. So I'm leaning towards that.
My only thing is the owner dude never, he doesn't like reference the fact that Sanji's always been with them.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, he definitely
at one point he said, like, you just came to this restaurant one day, and like now you've never left. But it wasn't like, you know, hey, Sanji, kid I've always known.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might be right. Maybe We'll find out that like it's his dad or some shit. I don't know.
Yes. They're probably all as batshit as Luffy. He sees potential.
Yeah, a little foothold that doesn't sink for some reason. It's crazy. I guess we need a battlefield.
Must be a shallow sea.
I guess. No, we're in the kiddie section of the sea.
Okay.
Why everybody smiling?
Whoa. That's kind of cool.
What's happening? I mean, I know what he's doing, but like, why? Oh, wow. I thought when they said like a foothold, it was just gonna be like enough to like climb up on. That's like a battlefield, bro. Luffy, why are you so excited about it? Oh, Sanji literally said, "Welcome to the battlefield."
Okay.
Okay, chef's last stand. Well, I mean, the fuck is that? Yo, this ship like kind of high tech, no?
Yeah.
Damn. High tech ship, but also has bike pedals to run.
Yeah, right.
Oh, they
What
got like
the
their own
hell?
little submarine. Oh, with guns.
No, careful, Luffy. We can't let him sink.
Yeah, maybe we could have told Luffy this like 5 seconds before we started open fire on.
Luffy is just stretch.
Yeah, that's true. They're just gonna ram him.
Wow. That was impressive.
It really was, especially since that glove is not armor whatsoever, and that shit would have ripped through his hand like paper. But because those guns are literally the size of his body, but you know. Luffy's like as such a child sometimes, and it was like, I told you I'm gonna be king of pirates, and then somebody else says that, and he's like, dude, what are you doing? I told you I was gonna be king of the pirates. Is he lifting that
Oh, yeah.
whole thing? Okay, I didn't know that he was that strong.
Yeah, apparently. Oh, here we go. Spring into action.
Sanji, don't. Sanji, don't. Sanji, Sanji, you've done enough. Okay, you're cool. I get it. Do not even tell me that you're going to kick that ship. You just kicked the ship. You just did you just did it. Huh?
Sanji, bro.
This show is so nuts, dude. What thighs he has.
That foot technique.
He's like, I told him that shit.
Yeah, that's my boy.
He copied my foot moves. What are you crazy? He just saved the whole fucking restaurant. That ship would have went right through it. What are you talking about? And that was your guy's ship. Ugh. Of course we do. We now know that just from that one kick that Sanji could 1v50 all of you like mercenary lane jobs. So like why would be afraid?
The chefs ain't faring so well.
No, they're not. But I guess if your best weapon is a giant fork, you're probably not like the best combatant.
What is a spear at the end of the day if not a giant fork?
You know what? I can't argue that. I that's a good point. And what does it cook if not somebody who can also kick a ship with one strike out of the sky after being chucked by a giant armored man? Yeah, but that still makes you average fire. It's like don't get twisted. Okay, so then do it. Like fight them already. Like we're doing a lot of standing around and talking, not a lot of whooping ass.
Get out of here!
Oh my god, no! That's unnecessary.
It's so necessary. Oh, Sanji has.
Oh yeah, I guess he worked with him.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Oh, so that's where Sanji picked up his his morals.
Bro.
This man's hat is so stupidly large, bro. I can't deal with it.
Okay.
What is that? Man, it's just one freak after another, bro.
What in Sam hell's going on around here?
Oh my god. Who is this man's?
What?
I just want to be clear that we have not seen one frame of this character before now. Where did you come from? What are you wearing? Where have you been?
How did you swim without sinking?
I guess the same reason that broken ships float in the water.
Dude, this guy. Oh, shit.
Hell yeah, bro. Damn, he kicked one dude into 3. Oh, and he caught the knife. Damn, and into the pearl shield.
Man, Sanji knows how to put on a show. I gotta give it to him.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I kind of feel like we could just let Sanji and Luffy handle this, low-key.
That knife just like blew up inside.
I was just about to say that shit grew literally like some pin particle shit, bro. My man got the flash step technique. Bro, he stole that shit from Kakashi. You're not telling me he didn't. Okay,
Okay, that's fair.
That's fantastic. He literally fights with his legs because he's like, nah, I gotta cook still, bro. He's pointing at it with his foot.
He just said I won 61 of my battles unharmed? Okay. Oh, okay.
Never shed blood in battle. Not even like he's never been hurt. Oh yeah, he's never been hurt. I don't know what you think refined means, but you look stupid as fuck. That's all I know.
Luffy just speaks for the audience. He's like, it wasn't funny at all. Meanwhile.
Oh yeah, Luffy, you kind of got shit to do. Never mind. I was gonna say I love how like nothing applies to actual physics, but like that hasn't happened in the last 10 episodes. So to be fair, I guess that's consistent.
Oh, you made him bleed.
Oh, well, now your streaks come to an end. All good things must come to an end.
It's the Gaara thing.
I was about to say, yeah, and I guess he's got some complex or something that makes it like, oh, I'm bleeding, now I'm gonna go berserker. Ode. It's happening.
What?
Did he just light himself on fire? What?
What is happening? Okay.
Oh man.
He's gonna burn the whole boat down.
So why is the fire like blue on him but red on everyone else?
Oh, it's burning hot.
Yeah, but that actually would mean that the fire's hotter on him than it is on anybody else.
Yeah. Oh, now you've done it. Whoa.
Damn.
Okay.
I guess being on fire doesn't mean you can't be knocked over. Says the dude who lit himself on fire. Like, what? Do you have any idea of like what awareness is? All right, Cook with the big hat. It's time to show up.
I love how they call him owner. Oh, that was pretty badass. He literally put out the fire with the switch.
Put the fire straight out with the peg leg, bro. He didn't even use the real foot.
That was awesome.
I think we're starting to realize that this invincible Pearl Man kind of ain't shit. You guys don't know that in anime, with age, people just get more badass. They'll get weaker. Poor fools.
That is a big ball and chain. Oh, dude, I just thought of it. That is brutal for Luffy or anyone that has a devil fruit power, the idea of fire, because your natural inclination if you got lit on fire would just be to jump into the vast blue ocean that is in right under your boat, but he cannot do that.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they could just splash him with water.
Yeah, he could have water thrown on him.
But it definitely makes it more difficult, the idea of being on fire, because he's going to need some help.
I mean, hell, even being a pirate that's not allowed to swim is restrictive enough.
Yeah.
Because you're out on sea 99% of the time.
Oh, you got to be kidding. Yep, this guy was playing the long game.
Bro, we don't need this, right? What are you doing?
I knew it.
Like, why? Is that the conclusion you would come to? Are you serious right now? Man, Sanji, light this motherfucker up so we can be done with this. I'm so over this crew.
They're so annoying. Okay, the only thing that could be like, here's another reverse Uno. If he's like, I'm going to do this because you guys need to stop fighting because they're going to kill you guys. But I don't think it's that. That'd be really giving this dude the benefit of the doubt. So I'm going to assume that he is double crossing them. Which I had a feeling might have been the case based off of like this like long ploy. Also, when Don Craig says we're going to go there, that crew member has this like oddly eerie smirk about him in like episode whatever it was.
Sure.
So I'm going to go with that. We don't know for certain, but that definitely is a dick move.
I just feel like you know what it is, dude? I feel like a lot of the villains that we've seen, I have not seen a single villain that other than Hawkeye, but like I don't even know if I'd call him a villain. That has like made sense to me with their plans. And that's like, it's not like, I mean, I don't really like any of the villains just, all around anyway, but I would be able to justify them more as villains if I'm like, okay, well, I get what he's trying to do. I get his plan. It makes sense. But a lot of these villains just feel like they're like fucking around. It's like wasting everybody's time because it's like, what this guy, so he wanted to take the boat, right? Well, okay, and I guess fair enough. You could say it's just been complicated now by this dude who has his own agenda of like what? Like, what are you trying to take over the boat now? Are you trying to like?
Well, I think his agenda is the same as Craig's. I think that he is a loyal subordinate to Don Craig, and Don Craig, wants to recover his forces, steal the boat, and then use this ability to, get more pirate shit done, and then eventually go back to the Grand Line again. He also gets the benefit of getting the notes from the from Redfoot, and I guess just the other pirate was kind of the ace in the hole, or the trump card up the sleeve, because he wants Don Craig to succeed, being that he is part of the crew and is basically pulling on the sympathy strings of Sanji and gang to try and be like, oh, I didn't know this was coming, don't do this, blah blah blah. And then he's like, okay, I'm in the ship now. I have him hostage. Like, this is how we're gonna do it. So
I guess it's mainly the Pearl guy who's made me think that like all this shit got set off course, because he literally did nothing but come in and fuck up the plan. Because the plan was to take over this ship. It was to get Redfoot's log, his logbook or whatever that he had from it's got notes about the Grand Line or something. But this Pearl motherfucker just rolled up here and just lit the whole thing on fire. So like now we got to put out this fire or your entire plan is going to shit, because this whole fucking boat is going to get burned out, including the log thing. And so then what's his name? Iron Man is just like, fuck it, I'll just sink you all with the ship before it gets burned. And it's like,
no. No, so they have to. Don Craig and gang have to improvise because he accidentally knocked Luffy into the Pearl guy, who clearly is unhinged. So he wasn't supposed to light himself on fire, but did. And so now he said, "I'm going to sink the fins." So he wants to sink the fins so that it doesn't catch to the boat, because he's like, this is the situation I'm in now.
Okay. Well, either way, I don't understand why we have this Pearl motherfucker employed, because he clearly does nothing but complicate shit. And like Craig even says like 9 times, he's like, dude, like stop, you're gonna fuck shit up, like do not light yourself on fire. And like I guess he gets a nosebleed and he's like, time to light myself on fire, and just like goes like he's going to Burning Man or something. I don't understand, like, what is the point of this? Like, I don't know. I guess the point of introducing the character was to make this plot contrivance, but like, I guess I just see that, it doesn't feel natural. It's just like, okay, clearly the only.
Yeah, I think that's it, right? It's like, okay, if you really break it down, there is a motivation, there is a reason for why these people are doing that, right? It's not that we're saying, okay, but I think the idea, the comical part of it is that, or the frustrating part, depending on how you look at it, is that, okay, we could piece together we could piecemeal together like what their motivations are and why they're doing what they're doing and how this happened. But it is clearly to serve the, the plot. You know what I mean? Like, it's clearly to like move the story along. But
like, but I mean, like, specifically because I get the motivations of like what's his name, Craig, whatever his name is, and the Iron Man guy, and the other pirate, like the other pirate a little bit less, but I understand like where they're going. But I'm specifically talking about this Pearl dude because that's the one that like I don't even get his motivation. I don't understand why he's done anything he's done other than like they're led by this very personal intrinsic desire, which is like if he gets bloody, he just has to light himself on fire because one of the guys was like, oh, he's doing this thing again. And it's like, he's done. What do you mean again? He does this all the time. He just lights himself on fire when he gets a nosebleed. And it's like it's like, that's what I mean. Because the original plan could have been for them to get on the boat, beat up the chefs, and then take the boat. Now this plot contrivance has come into the story. So now he has to improvise, like you said, by sinking the fins so the whole boat doesn't catch fire. But he wouldn't have to do that if this Pearl fire motherfucker never existed. So I'm like, my point is like, I see this Pearl dude as nothing but an inconvenience. Like he doesn't naturally or organically fit into the story. They literally put him into the story so that now instead of just jumping on the boat and having a straight battle, we have to like sink the fins and like do all this other nonsense.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
You know,
just to, like,
why
add
we're
the
just
ridiculousness
we're just like
layer.
we're like adding more shit into the soup, the stew bowl than there needs to be.
Yeah,
like,
it ups the stakes. You know what I'm saying? It makes Sanji's character cooler now because he's obviously gonna fight him. Because if he didn't have the fire ability, it's like, okay, how cool could this guy realistically be? You know, it's just, that's anime, I guess. It's just like whatever. But yeah, obviously. Listen, we're in the infantile stages of this show for sure. So there are definitely some like blatantly obvious like head scratching moments in it, and even I would have to ask, I would even assume that like big fans of One Piece would have to admit that there are some just like, ridiculous, silly things going on that are worthy of critique. But that's just, it's just part of it.
Yeah, and I'm not like I get it's like the early One Piece, like I don't know. I guess like some days it's just harder to ignore than others.
Yeah.
Like some days I'm just like, okay, I get it, sure, whatever you guys say. Like it's just it happens. Like it's part of the world, whatever. But I don't know. Some days, or depending on like the large amount of the thing, I'm just like, okay, come on, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just asking for a little bit of realism, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's like strictly a mood thing sometimes. No, totally correct. But yeah, out of his mind, batshit. It's just don't even, I've just learned, don't even fucking question it. Just go with the flow, because there are just some literally like the most wild shit happens in this show. It is like it's like crazy. So I'm just like, that's it. I'm just letting fate take me where it needs to take me, and I'm not questioning anything, and that's how we're gonna do this. But yeah, I don't know. That was insane. I am curious to see more of Sanji's backstory with this, because now I think it's pretty confirmed that he's been with Redfoot for since he was a child.
For a while, yeah.
Which to me implies that he almost serves as like a father figure to him. So probably. I didn't realize how deep the relationship actually goes. So that's very interesting to see. And I'm assuming he learned all the techniques of the foot techniques from him, and a lot of his cooking styles, and just like his code of ethics and his values and all that kind of stuff. So they'll definitely be taking a piece of Redfoot in a sense, with them in Sanji, exemplified through Sanji,
right? Yeah.
When they eventually get him to join the crew. And I also wonder now if Sanji seems to have been with him obviously since he was a child, but I don't know if it was like almost since birth, like how young it was specifically. And there is the shot of him being in the storm and then falling off the ship, and then it seems he's on an island with Redfoot. So to me, with that, obviously that implies that their ship was taken, or like destroyed, or they were beaten in a battle in some way, shape, or form. And then that's where they were like, that's when Redfoot's like, all right, we're having a life change here. My question is, I wonder if that series of events happens during their time in the Grand Line. And if their ship was destroyed while they were at the Grand Line, maybe while they were leaving,
I think so.
something, because that will be interesting that Sanji, although he was young, has maybe a small recollection of the Grand Line, which will make him more useful to this crew going forward, because he has a little bit of knowledge on, the logistics of it and stuff. So
I mean, I'm gonna say that that's what I think. I think that like that whole flashback to the shipwreck was an event that occurred while they were at the Grand Line, and that the island that they were on was after the fact, and sort of the failure, I guess, to overcome the Grand Line is maybe what made Redfoot realize, like, you know what, we don't need all that. Like, let's just settle down here. Let's just make a restaurant right here in the ocean where people can come to and get fed and be on their way. Because that seems natural. Like, that seems like sort of natural course of logic that somebody might in that position might follow. I think Sanji. I don't know if Sanji's gonna have necessarily information on the Grand Line, because I don't think that, like, at whatever age he was at, he really even cared, or like, I don't think he'll be as much of a pool of knowledge as we might think. I think it might be more like, he might remember the atmosphere, right, or the vibe, or like, like what it felt like to be on that ship on the Grand Line, but maybe not like. I think his services and stuff are going to be more in his fighting capabilities, and obviously that he's a cook, than like the I guess the intel guy in that regard. But I mean, I guess technically he does have the most experience being on the Grand Line more than anybody here. But I will also say that I like what they're doing with Sanji's arc. Like, I feel like where his character is going, the way they portrayed it, it's all very natural. None of it feels forced. None of it feels like it's, like, oh, Sanji, like, at this point in the story, Sanji needs to like Luffy. So like, he's now just on, but like, you see this like slow, steady turning of events that's like leading him from going to, like, I'm going to do my own shit on this restaurant, leave me alone, to like, you know what, maybe like being on Luffy's crew like wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Because there's that line where Redfoot is talking about his experience with the Grand Line. It's like, yeah, I settled down here and I opened up this restaurant, and this is all that there is left for me, right? I'm content doing this. And there's this moment where it passes over Sanji's face, and he kind of has this like, dare I say, like, look of contempt, or not contempt to say, but he has this look of like, that like kind of shows that maybe he wants more than that, or maybe he thinks there can be more to his life than just running this restaurant forever. So I like that this arc is really taking its time with him to be like, to iron out his character and slowly but surely get you in his headspace of like, again, going from point A to point B, of like, okay, Sanji is slowly transitioning into this guy who's like, who I would believe by the end of this would be like, you know what, Luffy, sign me up, let's go.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He still has a life to live, and like, yeah. He's a young adult. He has a lot to do. He doesn't have to be at the restaurant for the rest of his life. So yeah, that's a good observation. All right. Anyway, that's all we have for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you're smashing like, subscribing, hitting the bell so you don't miss any future ones, live reactions, that is. Hit us up in the comments. What did you think of the ridiculousness of this episode, our reaction to it, our banter afterwards? Keep in mind that we joke, we prod, but we know it's anime at the end of the day, and we're here for the journey. So keep that in mind. Also, hit us in the description down below. We have a link there. It says Linktree. Click that. It'll take you to all the other ways that you can support us. Our second YouTube channel, the AOA Show, for non-reaction content on there. We also have our Discord, which is free to join, our social media, our merch shop. If you want to get some sweet swag, from hoodies to handbags to socks to hats, we got it all there for you guys to enjoy. And also our Patreon, if you want to directly support us while getting exclusive benefits. It's really a win-win for everybody involved. You have a bunch of them, but one of the key standout ones is early unfiltered access to our live reactions. One Piece is included, obviously, among that. So definitely go and check that out if it sounds like you'd be interested. Anyway, until next time, folks, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the flip. Peace.
Peace.
Ninjas and samurais, blazing the kunais. Find me in the leaf of the cloud, screaming out Bankai. We just some ghouls though, who like seeing parts fly. They like what you saying, Goma got more through the storylines. I tested your neck from the start, my hunters gon' come for your heart. I promise you'll land in my boulevard, left them in one piece, no